records because she uploads it to her YouTube.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Shakira, can you do that for me, Shakira?
Yes, just did.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, about 2 minutes. All right, 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna invite you to come back and just share what's coming up for you at this time. What stands out to you? What caught your attention? Or what's catching your attention?
Well, I'll go ahead and start.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Glenda.
From the Jewish Study Bible Notes, it
Uh-huh.
says, the highest praise of wisdom is that God himself possesses it, used it in creating the world, and continues to use it. The welling up of springs and the descent of dew belong both to the original creation and ongoing providence. And so I looked up what providence means, and it's the protective care of God or nature as a spiritual power.
Okay.
And so it's the wisdom that is within God is what I get from reading this. Hopefully this is correct, is the wisdom that is within us. When we say God, as us, through us, that it is that same indwelling wisdom that is within the Most High that we have. And it is, just for us to allow the welling up of the springs and the dew to kind of, the wisdom to kind of drop and sprinkle on us. I was thinking of a flower that I saw on Facebook today. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was a rose and it had the perfect dew of, morning. And to me, and reading this, that's kind of how wisdom goes. As we need it, God sprinkles on us exactly what it is that we need.
Okay, cool. I love that. I love that. And remember, there's no right or wrong. It's what's coming up for you. So it's what's being revealed to you. So that's great. I love that. I love that insight. Okay. So that we will receive wisdom as needed. That's what I heard. God's wisdom will be provided as needed.
Yes.
Got you. I love it. All right. Who else want to share?
I'll share. The thing that stood out to me was the part about the depths, because it made me think of like water or an endless, like the depths of the ocean. And it makes, because it's a creation, it's talking about creation, it makes me think of, like Glenda was saying, the wisdom within is this never ending, bottomless well that's available. And I was reading that in some versions, it was that the deeps broke open, and some of it says broke up. And it's like out of this this depths of water can be formed, all sorts of things, whatever that wisdom needs to become. And so I see it as that. And so that's the part that I saw, like the Lord founding the earth and establishing the heavens. And that knowledge is that wisdom that is just formless until you bring form to it.
Yes, you got it. But water represents potential.
Mhm.
Water represents in potential, unformed potential. So you are absolutely correct in that the wisdom allows us to be able to be guided to form the potential that we have, the depth, the deepness that we have as far as our potential.
Mm.
Great. I love that. Okay, cool. All right, who else want to share? What's coming up for you at this time?
I was just looking up water, so I'm glad that you said that that's what it was, because um, it wasn't until I read the commentary, I think the one I just read from Oxford,
Mm-hmm.
it reminded me that dew was a form of water. Um,
Yes.
so, and I think that the verse, it really draws us back to the creation pattern or story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In
And so,
Genesis, yes.
mhm. And so when I was thinking of wisdom, I wrote down consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
This consciousness. And then I thought about how um, in Genesis it said, like, let us create man, or you can put anything in our image. And when I think of
Right.
us, I was thinking, well, could the us be wisdom plus understanding, or is it wisdom plus, I think for me, maybe it's like wisdom plus understanding. And then
Mm-hmm.
I once heard that wisdom is defined um, as applied knowledge, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So um, I'm always trying to figure out how to make the word, the practical application of the word, right?
Right.
So it really made me think about that in terms of, creating anything from the life you want or goals and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You're going to need, the wisdom and understanding. And then the deeps broke open. That was interesting to me because it says the deep. So when I think deep, I'm thinking like, at first I thought like down low or whatever, but then it said
Right.
clouds drop down the dew. And so then I thought about, oh no, the heavenly deep access that we have. And
Yes.
so it made me think about Ephesians 3, where it talks about like the height, the width, the length, and the depth to know the love of God, right? That passes understanding. So I think
Mm-hmm.
like understanding the multi-dimensional power of that is within God, and that we tap into,
Right.
and then it comes down like dew, which is also kind of like manna, right? That
Mm-hmm.
bread that we need every day to create
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that.
Right. Wow, you said quite a bit there. So let me see, can I can I recap some of what you said? First you started out with the Genesis creation story, talking about the formation of land and water. So water in that particular passage in Genesis again represents our unlimited potential. The
Mhm.
land represent our imagination, because what does land do with water? Land shapes water. Okay, gives water its shape. So or water shapes land, vice versa. So that's number one. Number two, you talked about being made in God's image. Now, if you go back and read that passage, it says that we are made in God's image, that God created man in his image and likeness, male and female, right? Okay. So the masculine represents the thinking phase of mind, and the feminine represents the subconscious phase of mind, or it could represent love and wisdom, or the mental and the emotions or the feelings. So you need both the masculine and the feminine principles to create. Okay, so that's yeah. So that's really, really good. Okay, and you mentioned something else after that. What else did you mention after that? About the depths of wisdom.
Right. It like
right.
I've always been kind of excited by the verse in Ephesians where it talks about the height, the width, the length, and the depth to know the love of God. And when I think of the love of God, I'm thinking of it, it's not just like agape love, but the power of the love of God, right?
Right, right.
The more we get to know it and to get to use it and express it and experience it, it says that I will know the love of God that passes, that either is the conduit that gives you knowledge and understanding, or it surpasses our natural understanding or knowledge. So
gotcha.
That like the depths are broken open. You have access to all that is.
Right. So that speaks to also that with us, there are levels and levels and levels of potential within us to be broken open, to be broken down and expressed. Okay. The other thing you mentioned too, because I made a note of it, is wisdom has to be applied. Applied wisdom. In other words, you got to make it practical. And that's kind of what caught me in the Anchor Bible commentary. If you could look at that real quick, where it says wisdom is a skill. It's a skill. Okay. A know-how. And it's best translated as good sense. Okay, so wisdom can be looked at as a skill that you apply, knowledge that you apply to your life to make it practical. Because it's one thing to know something, but it's one thing to apply what you know. And wisdom is no good to us if we just know it in theory. We have to apply it to make it practical. Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. Anybody, one more person want to share what's standing out at this time for you? No. Okay. So let's go on to number 2 on your handout. It says identify the keywords and phrases that you will look up. Some of you already started that, but I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 minutes to do that right now. What are the keywords and phrases that you're going to look up at this time? I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to do that, and then we'll come back. Okay, the keywords and phrases that you're going to look up. All right. I've already done this part myself, so I'll share mine later, but I'm going to give you a chance to share yours. So what are the keywords and phrases you're going to look up? I'll give you 3 minutes. All right, got one more minute. All right, let's come back. So who want to share the key words and phrases that you're going to look up?
I can go.
Okay, thank you,
Now,
Glenda.
some of the words, because I'm looking in truthunity.net, but then I also have my Strongs open, and some of the words aren't identified in either place. But anyway,
Okay.
so Lord, so that we understand what form of the word Lord we're looking at.
All right.
Wisdom, founded.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going from the New Revised Standard Version.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because that's the one that she does the Oxford from. Earth.
Okay.
Understanding. You know, what is this understanding that we're speaking of in this passage?
Cool.
Established.
Okay.
And then knowledge.
Okay.
I was
Cool.
thinking about heavens, but you know, my list was starting to get long, so I was trying to edit a little bit.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, with what Shamika was saying, the deeps and the depths, depending upon what translation you're going from. And then the word broke. And like I said, that is not defined on Truth Unity or in Strong's. And then clouds and dew.
Okay. Okay. So why did some of these words stand out for you, if I may ask? You know, especially like founded and established and so forth.
Well, founded and it's, you know, like, you know, okay, so I have feet in two camps. So I used to be a Pentecostal evangelist, and now
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a New Thought practitioner. And so when you're you know looking at interpreting scripture, of course you always want to know what is something founded on, what is something established on, what is something based upon, where is your jumping off point. And so it's like by wisdom, the Lord by wisdom founded the earth. And so, you know, that is the foundation, you know, of the earth, you know, and so that is the soil, that is the ground that wisdom is put on. And then you said established, and then it says by understanding, he established the heavens. Again, you know, it's not the foundation, you know, because we're talking about the ethereal, but it is still like a foundational kind of phrase, but because it's we're talking about the heavens, you know, and it is in the ethers, then, you know, I can see why the writer would not use the word foundations. And so to be able to understand what that word established means. And then to be able to compare and contrast what's the difference between founded and established.
Okay. And you weren't able to find neither one in the Strong's concordance.
Oh, no. I have them in the Strong. So,
Yeah.
but on Truth Unity, established and founded are not one of the hyperlink words. Now, in the Strongs, founded is Hebrew number 3245, and that is Yasad. And I'm not good in Hebrew, so we're just going to do the
Yeah, I got you. I feel you.
Okay, so and it says intensively to found, reflexively to sit down together, to settle, to consult, to take counsel, establish. Okay, so that is the primitive root for the word founded. Now, for established, it is Hebrews 35:59, the word kun, a primitive root, properly to be erect, to stand perpendicular, hence causatively, to set up in a great variety of applications, whether literal, to establish, fix, prepare, or apply, or figurative, to appoint, render sure, proper, or prosperous. And then it, more words, certainty, conform, and then it goes on from there.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
So with heavens, I like the causative part of that definition.
For established.
Yeah, because no, establish the heavens.
Right.
So yeah, so establish the causative aspect of life. Establish the cause.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Okay.
And that's interesting because as you said that, it made me think of as above, so below.
That's it. It is. It is. Heaven is the realm of ideas. Heaven, another way to look at it is cause or first cause. And earth is the realm of manifestation, from a metaphysical point of view. So you got cause and manifestation, as above, so below. Okay. Great. I like that. Okay. All right. Who else? Thank you. Who else want to share their keywords? Their keywords and phrases that you're going to look up.
I had wisdom and established. Those were the two prominent words for me. And
Okay.
And like you said, the established wasn't there, but it harkened to another verse that I think about all the time. So, but yeah, my keywords are wisdom and established.
Okay. And why so for you? Why established especially? I can see wisdom.
Well, yeah, right. Wisdom, right? I've been obsessed for the past few months with being established. Really just looking for all the ways in which the Bible talks about things being established. And I think about I don't remember the verse, but it's commit either your plans, right? And your thoughts will be established.
Right, that's in Proverbs.
That's something like it's in Proverbs somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And your thoughts will be established.
Okay.
And then so the connection between thoughts and things being established. And so it and if wisdom, according to ASV, it talks about like a intuitive knowing or a spiritual intuition, right? And so when you think about that being manifested or establishing your plans or your goals or anything, like first get the thoughts together that are divine if you connect to it, and you say, okay, now I let my thoughts be established.
Cool.
Let it go ahead and happen. So
I love it. Okay, thank you. All right. One more person want to share keywords and phrases that you're going to look up?
I will.
Oh.
Oh, go
Okay.
ahead. Somebody else?
Robin?
Oh, did somebody else want to?
No, that's go ahead, Robin.
Are you sure, Dr. Brenda? Because I've been talking. You can talk.
Okay, well, I looked at wisdom and earth, and
Okay.
looking metaphysically, that of course, as was stated, wisdom being, the intuitive knowing, spiritual intuition. And when I looked up earth being the consciousness. And then so I read further and I like this phrase. It said that these attributes come from the spirit of Christ within us. The price that we must pay for the conscious attainment of divine wisdom and understanding is the letting go of the personal self with its limited beliefs. That Paul saw Christ waiting at the door of every soul when he wrote, "Awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall shine upon thee." And so it said to me when it talked about, God, the Lord with wisdom founded the earth. So you need your spiritual intuition to be able to deal with the consciousness. So when you say, I know what I know and I feel what I feel, that to me is the spiritual intuition saying to your consciousness, as Robin just said, that this begins to help you set up your order, that that this is the goals that you're going to obtain based on the spiritual intuition that you're feeling inside that lends itself to that consciousness.
Okay. Yeah, because wisdom is the idea of orderly knowledge. So it helps you to order your thoughts or order your steps, if you will.
Right.
So that you can, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I said Robin, but I meant what Shamika was just saying about,
yes. Right. Okay, great. All right, Robin, go ahead. You can share real quick too. Thank you, Dr. Brenda.
Okay. The words that jumped out to me were knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, because they're so intertwined in my head that they're so related. Like there's knowledge, which is intellectual from what I read in the revealing word. So knowledge being that intellectual part, but understanding is that supreme knowing. And then the intuitive knowledge, and just thinking about the interplay between the three that we have to navigate every day as we go through, like trying to make a decision. Am I making a decision based on my intellectual knowledge? Am I making a decision based on my wisdom? And then that supreme knowing is kind of what centers you to make the right decision, right? And so I'm always fascinated with trying to hear the still small voice and hear that wisdom, as opposed to relying on my logic, because I come from like a engineering background and like very logical as a child, and just trusting that, and that understanding gives you that kind of foundational sense that you kind of made the right choice by listening to that book.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Knowledge is, to me, like theory. It's theoretical information or and understanding is applied knowledge. Understanding is the knowing the knowing principle in mind. And when we talk about knowing something, it means that you are able to apply it in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? You know, it's like this is the example I use often. It's like I'm not very good with putting things together as far as with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could read the instructions. So intellectually, I understand what the instructions are saying.
Right.
You got me?
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to applying that, I don't understand it. I
Yeah.
can't translate what I just read into actually being able to apply it and put whatever I need to put together, put it together.
Mm.
You follow me? So understanding is knowing the knowing principle in mind, knowing how to do something, applying what you know.
Okay. Okay.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And the intuition goes beyond knowledge, in that it's a still small voice, and it's it's being able to tap into the intelligence of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
which is the wisdom, that the intelligence that governs this universe. Yeah, and that's one of the things I got from reading this passage today. That there's an intelligence that governs this universe that we're able to tap into, the wisdom.
So you were saying
Hey,
that understanding is applied wisdom or applied knowledge, which
applied knowledge.
applied knowledge. Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one. We got about, we got 10 minutes left. Okay. So number 3. So develop definitions for the keywords and phrases identified in the previous question. So whatever your keywords that you came up with, now I want you to take a couple of minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, to write down the definitions for each of those words. Some of you already did it, but I want you to write it right here. Write the definitions. I gave you some of the definitions that, for me, because some of the keywords that I came up with was understanding and wisdom, earth, heaven. Those are some of my keywords. So write down the keywords for you, and Lord. And Lord was another keyword for me too. The Lord by wisdom. And the Lord for me, I interpret the Lord on the metaphysical level to mean law of my being, the law of being. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes to write down your definitions right quick, because we're gonna put together. We're gonna rewrite the passage for ourselves. We got 1 more minute. And Claudette, it's good to see you.
Sometimes she's at work when we have class, so sometimes she's able to jump on, and then sometimes she's not. If she
gotcha.
respond, because she's at work.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask about two of you all to share your definitions of your words. Who would like to share your definition? What definitions?
Well, I looked up the word broke in the regular dictionary because, like I said, it didn't show it in the Strong's or Community. And so it's the verb form, and it says to separate or cause to separate into pieces as the result of a blow, shock, or strain.
Okay.
The next definition is for the verb form is to sustain an injury involving the fracture of bone or bones in a part of the body. And another definition is to make or become inoperative.
So which one you think is the best fit for this passage?
The depths broke open. Instead of inoperative, though, I would say to separate or cause to separate into pieces as the result of a blow. And then what it did, you know how sometimes something breaks and then instead of it being inoperative, it becomes more like you gain more understanding. Like when you were talking earlier about wisdom and understanding and all of that, like now you have the understanding because what was once closed and kind of hidden in the wholeness of it, once it breaks open, now that which was contained is able to spill forth.
Okay. Like you breaking it down.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Great. Thank you. All right, one more person who want to share your definition. Robin?
Okay, so for earth, I looked it up and it was the consciousness of the physical body.
Okay.
Heaven, Christ consciousness or divine mind. Knowledge, we talked about intellectual knowing. Lord or Jehovah, both are I am.
Right.
Understanding, you explained as applied knowledge. Wisdom, the intuitive knowledge or voice of God. And then I looked up form, which is to shape and structure. And then listening to Shamika, I looked up in the regular dictionary, like Glenda said, because I didn't see it anywhere else, the word establish. And the one that I think fits there, like 6 definitions, but I know we're short on time. But the one that I liked was to enact, appoint, or ordain for permanence as a law, to fix unalterably. Yeah.
Got you. I love it. And going back to earth, I use a short definition for earth to mean manifestation. To mean manifestation. Okay. So it's not just about I think you mentioned the physical body or something. Yeah, just for me, the short definition or the context for that is manifestation. Earth is that which is manifested.
Okay.
All right, great. All right, so now I'm gonna give you the opportunity. I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes or so to rewrite the passage of scripture with your developed definitions. Okay, so rewrite the 2 verses with your definitions. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna give you the 2 minutes to do now. Rewrite the scriptures with your definitions.
I'm going to FedEx. I'll be back.
Okay.
Alrighty. So whoever want to share, let me hear from as many of you all as possible. What meaning now emerges from your rewrite? What meaning emerges from your rewrite? Remember, there's no wrong answers. This is what Spirit is revealing to you, what you are taking away from your rewrite. So who want to share?
I only have
Shamika?
verse 19. That's the only one I have. I didn't get a chance to do 20. So I'll read my
Okay,
okay, y'all.
that's okay. All right, let's
So,
hear it.
the Lord, by transcendent knowledge, set the foundation for the consciousness of the physical body. By supreme knowledge, he set up the spiritual laws.
Whoa,
That's for 19.
wow,
Wow.
okay. I love it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
great.
Okay,
That was great.
so hold on. What is your takeaway? So
Right.
what is your takeaway?
That these spiritual laws are what govern everything.
Okay,
That's how this whole everything was created, the spiritual laws.
yes, got you. I love it. Thank you. All right, come on. Robin, I see you thinking over there.
I can't follow that.
just
Yes,
just do you. Yeah, just do you. Just do you. Okay. So let me hear you.
Okay. The Lord, by intuitive knowledge, using his voice, shaped manifestation by supreme knowing, establishing in permanence the heavens.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Beautiful. All right. So what is your takeaway? What is your takeaway?
It, for me, what stood out when I was writing it was having that firm foundation of being rooted in the God within, and God within and God without. So just like
Okay.
having that rooted in knowing that order, like kind of like what Shamika was saying, is the foundation for everything.
Cool. I love it. Okay. One more person, one more. This is good stuff. All right. Who else want to share? One more. Somebody else? Miss Glenda? Dr. Brenda? Tommy? Anybody else? Okay. All right, Tommy, you want to go?
No, I'm still pretty new at this, so I don't have all the foundation I need to gather the information that they started off with.
Okay. All right. But but you got to see how this works, right?
I do see how it's going, and it's very, very fun. You know, a lot
Okay.
of understanding comes out of it. But the process by which they gather their information is where I got kind of like, this is just my second class, and I got kind of left
Okay.
out on how to accumulate the information.
Got you. Okay, no problem. So the reference tools, I think that Sherri is using is the Strong Concordance, the one she got listed here, the truthunity.net, just your regular dictionary, the Revealing Word, the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, and some of these commentaries that she has listed here. Those are the tools that are used to dig deeper into the meaning in the scriptures. So, because the main thing is to get at the root meaning of the words and so forth, and then allow Spirit to reveal to you from the root meanings of the words what the passage is saying to you, and there are no right or wrong answers. Is what's coming up for you in this particular moment that you can use in your everyday life, so that the scriptures or the Bible can be practical to you and not just something that happened back in history at some point in time.
Thank
you. You are welcome. So this has been.
I have a
this
quick
has
question.
been. Yes.
So when you are like, as you develop some of the definitions, and sometimes like when I look at truthunity.net and the Revealing Word and the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, sometimes that's a whole mouthful of words. So, and so then sometimes when I, have written it and read it back, that's why I didn't volunteer for that last part, is because to me it's more confusing than it was when I read it the first time. In
I
the
got
original
you.
language. And so
right.
And so you said, there are no wrong answers. It's what it is for you. And so can you then break down that whole mouthful of words into something like more simple, like how you were saying, what earth is? Earth is manifestation. There's all those other words, but when you're looking at earth, it's, kind of like manifest reality.
Correct.
Yes,
you got it.
Make it more simple.
Right.
Correct. Make
exactly.
it simple.
Right.
And just keep drilling down. And here's the question that you could ask: what is this really saying to me? That's a good question. And don't be in a rush to get the answer. Spirit is going to reveal to you what it's saying to you in this moment, and then continue to be open to more revelations, because we talked about the depths. There's depths and depths and levels and levels and levels of wisdom and understanding to glean. Okay, and the main thing is, what is it saying to you?
Right.
Because one thing, and then I'm gonna close out. You may be going through you may be facing something in your life at any particular point in time.
Right.
So what the passage is saying to you in this phase of your life will be different than what it's saying in another phase of your life, because of what you are facing in your life at that particular point in time. Right. So continue to be open to revelations. Okay?
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yes, this was
You are
wonderful.
welcome. You're welcome. This has really been fun. I have to come back and visit.
Please do. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, take a nap first.
Yes, you got that right. Okay. That's the main reason. That's the main reason I have not come visit, because it's my bedtime. But anyway.
Well, kudos to you for staying up past your bedtime.
All right, thank you. So this has been fun. I hope to see you all again at some point in time. So have a good night. Have a good evening, and we're just going to take the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of
Presence
God
of
watches
God
over
watches
us.
over us.
Wherever we
Wherever
are,
we are,
God
God
is,
is,
and
and
so it
so it
is.
is.
Amen. All
Amen.
right. Peace and blessings to you.
Thank you,
Namaste.
Charles.
Have a
All right.
good
Namaste.
night,
Have a
everyone.
good one. Okay. Have a good night. All right.